my god! This is Pablo's Paradise, a level from Super Dram World 3. The baby Yoshi that we see in Mario's hands is actually named Pablo, and Pablo will explode if he eats anything. He's also very sticky. He's stuck to Mario's hand and he can't be put down. So I need to be very careful to avoid holding him against anything he would eat, like the poison mushroom or the berries. You saw me turning around and hitting the blocks to get rid of the bullets before they came near Pablo. We also need to bump this shell. It's the only way to get through the turn blocks and the rock safely. You want to eat these things, but you just can't, Pablo. I'm going to be playing this next part very, very safely. Footballs in this game alternate between a small, medium, and high bounce. I'm waiting for the middle bounce because that gives me the most time to run underneath the football. I have to hit both of these on-off switches to drop the shell down. Then I have to bump it backwards to give me something to bounce off of. Here you go, you get to eat your rock. Goodbye, Pablo. Let's go. Let's go! See? That wasn't so hard. I feel like the football was super duper incredibly generous to give you all the time that you had. I saw the troll here, by the way. I wish I kind of wish I hadn't, because that's a really good troll. If you touch this gold tape with Yoshi, I'm still a hungry boy. Pablo is hungry now. Feed him or he will starve and explode. This time, literally. Panga! Oh my god! This is Pablo's Paradise, a level from Super Dram World 3. This little hellspawn of a Yoshi is named Pablo. Pablo has a problem. He's gonna explode if he doesn't keep eating. Since Mario is unable to spin jump while carrying an item, I have to jump out to the Yoshi as he's still in the air. We ate the disco shell and now we ride on the mole's head for just a little bit before eating him as well. And this Charge and Chuck completely cleaned off the shelf of footballs at Dick's Sporting Goods. We're gonna have to chase these footballs down and eat one more of them to prevent Pablo from exploding. We gotta do just a little bit of juggling to eat the berry and use the spring to spin over top of that wall. We need to be sure to miss the hidden block, activate the on-off, and eat the Koopa all at once. And then one last careful bit of timing to get Pablo to explode right where we want him. That was so close! I was sure I was hitting that spike. Awesome level. Awesome. What? I'll take it. Hang on. I want to explore some more of that. This is the Green Switch Palace, a level from Super Dram World 3. This Yoshi's been practicing and he's drastically improved his tongue game. He's able to munch on certain blocks that normally just wouldn't be available to him. Every time I dismount Yoshi into these invisible blocks, it slows me down by just a little bit. We have to eat and spit this muncher so that we have something to stand on, and then carefully time the football so that we can bounce off of it to the right. But we're not done with the muncher. We're gonna need it further down the line, where we jump off of it, and then eat it yet again to open the block and enter the pipe. I'm supposed to balance on this swamp to eat all of the blocks, and I'm absolutely devastated when I miss one eat. Motherfucker. What? What? Turns out you don't need them. This is Chipotle Gouda Bridge, a level from Super Dram World 3. Allow me to show you the ropes of this level. Ha ha! Just a little joke. Normally in Super Mario World, a rope doesn't start moving until you grab onto it. That's not always the case here. The yellow ropes are fast moving. The standard blue ropes are pretty much their normal speed. There's just a little bit of shell juggling that has to be done here, with a shell jump at the end. Mario only has 2 hands, so he can't hold anything while he's climbing a rope. We also saw the pink rope there. It's only allowed to move while the on-off state is on. The fastest way to climb a rope is to jump up it. I'm gonna need to catch this rope on the way down. The next 2 are just waiting to fall because they're not actually on a track. You're in danger if you jump too high or hold on to these ropes for too long. We're gonna need to stop this pink rope here. It's just too fast for me to catch back up with it, and we have to make the blue Koopa turn the switch back on. There's a hidden block in front of the pipe. I need to climb to it instead of jumping off of the rope to get there. Let's go! Let's go! This second half is less about the ropes and more about the line-guided tracks. Here we've got a rotating platform that follows the track. We'll hold on to this throw block for a little bit and then eventually spin off of it. Charge and Chuck bounces you away to the side when you're doing damage to him. And here comes the throw block. It lines up so perfectly. This extending block is going to alternate between getting wider and taller. This ball and chain swinging into view right now is the hardest part of the level. We use it once just to get back to the rope, but then also it takes a flying leap at us that we have to catch in midair. We need this blue Koopa's shell to shell jump over to the final triple rotating platform. We have to carefully walk off the edge in that tight space, and it's going to catch us after we hit the on-off switch. Collecting an orb will make Mario automatically walk to the right. Let's go. That's a really cool ending. That's a really, really cool ending. Holding a rope is safe, falling off the edge isn't. You... That's really funny. That's the end of the section? Am I nuts or does that feel like a quick section? This is Skyzo City, a level from Super Dram World 3. This level is going to be all about the P-switch. The bar that shows up just to the right of Mario shows me how much time is left remaining on the P-switch timer. We also have 5 different colors of P-switches here. The blue switch lasts for 12 seconds, the green for 6, yellow for 4, and red is 2. We're dodging the thwomp there while we're waiting for the timer to run out and drop the Pokey down. We have no extra time with this disco shell. We need to take it straight over to the red switch. Once we hit the on-off switch 3 times, Yoshi will drop down. And I need to time it so the Lakitu will throw a switch for me to use. Upside down blocks. That was a good touch. In this section, there's only the 1 P-switch. When we press it, it'll stay as a stump until the timer runs out. Then it pops back up and I can reactivate it. I can throw the P-switch and the stump to both break and activate blocks. There's a couple places here where I need to be spinning while I'm holding the P-switch. You can't spin with an item in your hand, so I drop it in the air and then spin to catch it. Right here, the timer's about to run out. I need to put the switch down, let it pop up, and then reactivate it. The on-off switch gets the Pokey out of the way, and we're gonna need one of these bullets at the end to make the final jump. There's a sprite-only block at the end, which I'm pretty sure is only there to make activating the P-switch a little easier. Oh. 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 I got it. Okay. Alright. A kaizo block is a hidden block that's intended to keep the player from making progress. This is Classic Trope Castle from Super Dram World 3, and it's structured very differently from most levels in romhacks. We're going to talk more about the room that you're seeing right now later, but for the moment, look up in the top right corner, you can see the number 0. That number will go up when I beat a room, and it will go down if I die. Here's our second room, the Mecha Koopas. These Mecha Koopas work kinda similar to how they do in Super Mario Maker 2. You can spin off of them, and that kicks them away from Mario. We're gonna re-grab off of this one twice to let me get to the Mecha Koopa ladder, which is actually way harder than it looks. This next room has the propeller block. In order for me to jump with it in my hands, I need to press the jump and run buttons at the exact same time. That's a frame-perfect trick at a game that runs at 60 frames per second. I should mention that all the yellow nets we see here are sprite killers. They would destroy the block if it came in contact with them. So the entire point of this level is that all of these rooms loop endlessly, and the only way to break out of that loop is to make the number go up to 4. This is probably my ideal room to be at while I'm at 3, since it's my most consistent of the 4. Once you get out of the loop, you get one final room that you haven't practiced. You need to beat it to move on. God! Just one small mistake and you're losing progress. These flames start climbing as soon as you touch the vine that they're on. You can safely spin jump off of the fire, but Mario can't start a spin jump while he's climbing a vine. I also need to switch over to a normal jump to get a high bounce off of the shell. And we have just a small survival section here where I'm dodging bullets while waiting for the Koopa to get down for me to bounce off of it. Here we are again in the green Poke room. I have control over this Poke's height. I can get rid of a single segment by pressing the L button that makes him shorter, and I can add a segment by pressing the R button that makes him taller. I'm gonna need him to stay a pretty specific height so I don't hit my head on the spikes, and the shell is gonna be removing segments under me, and I just re-add them. I don't know how many of the final rooms there are. Super Dram World 1 and 2 each had their own 5-room castle, and the 5th room pulls from each of those castles. I know this is a really long video, so I really appreciate you if you've gotten this far. Do me a favor and like the video, comment which room is your favorite. I've actually gotten this room twice in a row now, which is really good. All I have to do is spin off the saw and avoid the kaizo block. Don't miss! Nobody's missing shell jumps in 2025, but there's a lot riding on this one. If you're reading this message, you dodged a troll. Good job. Words, words, words. What's important is dodge the fish. This is the boss fight of classic Trope Castle, the first castle from Super Dram World 3. To win here, I need to get 12 hits on Wendy. Normally, Wendy comes up with 2 dummies. In this fight, if you land on one of the dummies, it doesn't do any damage, but it replaces one of the dummies with a copy Wendy, and I can hit any of the Wendys to do damage. There are 6 different attack patterns that Wendy has. Almost all of them have a variation with Wendy on the bottom and on the top. Do me a favor and let me know in the comments what you'd like to see next. So long as it's Dram 3, I think I've got you covered. The falling platforms here is one of the safest patterns, but I need to make sure that I jump off of the platform and onto one of the Wendys. If it just carries me down into them, I get hurt. For the shell, I just try to stay in the center, and I miss it to give myself an opportunity to hit a Wendy. This is our friend the green Poke. I have control over its height. I can make it taller by pressing R and shorter by pressing L. The lava at the top can harm me, but I can safely travel through the visible portion of it. Big jump to the propeller. In order for me to keep the propeller up in the air, I need to jump grab off of it, which is nearly a frame perfect move where you press the jump and run button at the same time. If you've gotten this far, thank you so much for watching. If you could like the video, that would help out a whole lot. I'm playing safely because we've got a really deep run this time, and it's not always a guarantee that I'm going to be able to hit Wendy. This propeller section is the only time during this attempt that we've got all 3 Wendys up. The Wendys up top are actually really generous. So long as I touch them from any angle, it counts as a hit for me. Right here is going to be my first time getting 12 hits. The cloud appears for me to stand on. Ha! Dodge the fish! That's important! Let's fucking go. Oh my god.
It's over!